Okay, so here's my first video where of the Dream Team series, which this is supposed to be the, I guess, AI thing, which I currently have episodes 1 and 3 done, but I still need episode 2 done. Luckily, though, I can upload episode 1, which here we are with that episode, which, yes, Dora and Friends starting us off, where we had the introduction being exactly like how you would expect an episode of Dora and Friends to be introduced. But then here we are with the conflict already going in. Yeah. Keep in mind, I'm only gonna end up deciding to put it in, like, where I'm gonna be saying the line of whoever's saying it, if I can do their voice without hurting my voice, or if I'm the one saying it without, screaming. So, and also I might as well acknowledge 27 girls and 7 boys, which will be important to a plot later on when you see it. Just saying. Due to a weird curse. That's all I'm gonna say. And the only ones who would be most likely seeing this video and even knowing what I'm talking about, if anyone, because of their interest in what's going on, Liam, Jay, or even my friend Liana. So, there's that. Or even Blooper, one of my friends on Discord there, with Liana being the only friend from school that is going to be the one watching. But anyway, yeah, Kay is the first one to acknowledge me here in this case, and then Dora next, which is because of it. Which, yes, the canon of these dreams is gonna have some stuff going on here with it involving that. Yep, a lot of hugging situations are gonna go down, which can imply that it should be on a preschool network, but then when you see the schemes with the villains, you're gonna be like, oh, this just got PG. And this is more of me reacting to it so that you guys can read through it yourselves without any problems. And as I don't want to have to go ahead and do it at all, I guess. And the reason why I'm not going to be using the voice text so that it can read it like that instead is because, well, the AI voice, it has one default voice, which is going to be forced to use for all the characters, and I will be honest, the voice I only really feel fits for Dora, yet no one else that has had a line mentioned by the AI gets the voice right there, which, if you're confused, the voice that does fit here, the reason why I say it would fit for Dora is because if you heard it, it would sound like the version of her voice that is used in the Dora the Explorer Girl special, which can also be known as Our First Concert, which has Dora, Kate, Naya, Emma, and Alana, but Pablo's nowhere to be seen in that special. Yep, it's crying, which, yeah, that should tell you how sensitive I can be sometimes, which, I will tell you this, it's still true to this day, but luckily not to a severe level like it was when I was younger. Anyway, yeah, trying to get me to calm down over there, I see. So, yeah, those girls already knowing how Brayden's a huge problem. So, yeah, there are going to be some scenes where they're going to be freaking out, but keep in mind, if you already know how the characters are supposed to sound, you're probably just going to have to use your imagination for this while you're watching through, kind of like an audiobook, I guess. Here we are. But, yeah. of course, Brayden hurting me again in this canon, which, don't be surprised. And don't be surprised about any emotional scenes. Anyway. Yeah, he did. And my first line in this, without yelling, being like, yes. But I don't want to do that all that emotional stuff. Just in case of any dehydration problems. Just saying. Don't want to risk it. Yeah, I'm able to calm down there. I'm guessing he doesn't know anything about me or my brother Brayden. Yeah, out here noticing Pablo still being confused. And then here's the next line. But, yeah. Oh, my name is Asher, by the way, but I'm not sure why. Yeah, that's the next line I come up with. Here I am, I guess. And then, I'm not sure, although I'm guessing you're confused why Dora, Emma, Kate, Alana, and Naya already know me. Yeah, what can I say? And then my next line, do one of you want to explain? Clearly, I was not the one that wanted to explain it. And here we are with the long explanation that Dora gave off. Yeah, what can I say? This is what the AI came up with, and somehow it was correct. Kind of feels like a copy of the FCU, if you ask me, but here we are. Also, if you're wondering when I first met them, I'm not exactly sure, but I do remember meeting Katie and along with with Ryder and the Paw Patrol the same day. Yep. Don't be surprised about Paw Patrol showing up. Yeah. What do you do, I guess? Anyway. Yeah. Technically, in the canon, this has been already going on for a few years by the time this episode takes place in 2019. Alongside HJ5, the Bubble Guppies, Fireside Girls, and the Mother Goose Club. Yeah, if you want a set of what shows are going to be your default to be in every episode if you're watching this, Paw Patrol, Phineas and Ferb, Bubble Guppies, Kukarajuku, Mother Goose Club, and Dora and Friends. Now, why it's not Dora the Explorer, it's probably because, I guess in my mind, they wanted the dreams made it where they wanted it to be, where it's the person would be old enough to feel like a good role model compared to the other age. Here we are, though. Don't worry about any music in the background if you're hearing any. Anyway. Yeah, the character laughing here. Just me being out here like, you, Dora, Mary, Sky, Everest, Isabella, Molly, Una, Zuli, and Baby, most of all. Yeah, just listing off all the characters. I swear, if I was in any of these cartoons, these would be the characters I would feel like I would have a connection to. No joke. Just for these 6, though. And yes, in the canon of how these dreams work, I would have met Zuli on the same day that Dora and the Lost City of Gold came out in theaters. Although you won't be seeing her in this one. And there are a few Rainbow Rangers that are going to be missing. Yes, Rainbow Rangers getting involved later on. What do you expect? And keep in mind, I might as well acknowledge this, if you ever see an episode that has Rainbow Rangers and Butterbean's Cafe put up together, then you know it's going to be an episode with a bad conflict that basically implies that whatever happened the day before I had the dream, it had to be real bad, like, to the point where the dream's probably going to show something life-threatening within the dream, but ends up not happening. I guess it's kind of weird. Anyway, so I just don't know why. And yes, if you're reading this correctly, you're seeing that family. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Whatever connection it is, definitely feels like a family type connection that I'd honestly prefer to be in one of these universes rather than having a brother like Brayden. I'll be honest. And speaking of brother, yeah, little brother. And yes, if you're getting Max and Ruby vibes, don't worry. It could end up getting that kind of vibe going on there. And then the next line for me saying, although I'm still upset and confused at the same time as to why Mayor Humdinger and Swiper want to hurt me, especially my brother most of all. Yeah, it's basically the three villains that you're going to see most common. Mayor Humdinger from Paw Patrol, and then there's going to be Swiper from Dora the Explorer, and then of course my own brother. And Liam's not going to be surprised one bit, and I don't think Allison would be surprised either if she's watching this.
9. Time for bed, Asher.
Okay, I'm still...
Good night.
Love you too, good night. I'm still recording my video, though.
Okay.
When I'm done recording, though, I should be able to go to bed.
Okay.
Sorry about that. While I was recording, my mom was ready to tell me to go to bed, so here we are. Which you probably saw that alarm that implied that I should have been already in bed 15 minutes ago when I was recording this. And I'm talking as of the time of right now while I'm recording. Next line for me, I see. Also, Pablo, if you are worried about any female villains trying to hurt me, you won't need to, as they will also chose to keep me safe. Yeah, Liam's not going to be surprised one bit about the female villains wanting to keep me safe in this universe, too. Liam will not be surprised one bit. Another little bit of laughter, I see. Yes. Also, if you guys want to mock him, please don't, but I guess you could kind of say he wants to be his own little Curious George. Also, in the SCU canon, if there's anyone watching this and it happens to be Pablo. By the way, this is Pablo from Dora and Friends, not from the Backyardigans. Sorry, Stetson. Anyway, if anyone's seeing this and that happens to be the case, I just it might result in some people being upset, but here we are. Although I think Bubble Guppies and Paw Patrol will be enough to cover that up for her, if she is watching. Anyway, oh, and also I might as well acknowledge this, if you do want to imagine how this dream would turn out, the animation style to be looking for Bubble Guppies, sorry to say, Stetson, but this is from 2019, so this is basically 2019 me messing with Nelvana, but it is the Nelvana style that you'd be looking for, even though Zuli was already around, and basically they're already doing the Jam-Filled Entertainment style. Yeah, the Nelvana era is the animation style that was shown for how Bubble Guppies would be involved. Which, yeah, anyway. It makes sense to be this curious, though. And clearly, I have no idea as being like, nope. Yeah, and yes, Kate out here having some questions. Yeah. Don't question me about this, about the whole personal question thing. I'm just like, okay. Okay. Yeah, don't ask if if any of you viewers are feeling awkward. I mean, the AI kind of gave off a warning, so Oh, I have never felt like a burden in these dreams, somehow. I have no idea why. Although it... Just if you look at the next line for me. Nope, I might be to Pablo, as I've seen your show enough to know he doesn't like the idea of responsibilities much, but you girls, I've never felt that way. Kinda roasted Pablo there a little, but what can I say? Oh, this is one of those yelling lines, so I'm not gonna say it. Nor am I saying that one. You're just gonna have to read it on your own, but here we are. It probably is a good thing. I just hope it wasn't like this. This might seem a little funny though, too. Although, if any of you viewers are looking for entertainment, you guys should feel lucky that I'm even confident enough to show this on the internet. Anyway. Oh yes, I have felt like I've been part of the group during the whole time I've been having these dreams. And I might as well acknowledge this. Kate's design when I first had these dreams starting, where Dora, Kate, Ryder, and Rubble had her Dora and Friends design, not her Dora's Explorer Girls design that was shown in the special, nor on the website doragirls.com, which kinda doesn't exist anymore because of Nickelodeon being, I don't know what it was, like discontinuing the brand in a way. But also, I might as well mention, I think I kind of predicted the future a bit when that happened. As I had the dream in 2013, advertisements didn't start until around, I think it was March of 2014. It was November of 2013 when my dreams started. So, the fact that Dora and Kate were shown in our Dora and Friends designs were kind of predicting the future, and I think I kind of predicted the future of Paw Patrol too, because the animation style I saw Ryder and Rubble in that same dream happened to show in the seasons from seasons 2 through 7. Not season 1, even though they were on early season 1 at the time, with the most recent episode at that moment to air would be the Halloween special from season 1, Pups and the Ghost Pirate. Anyway, yeah, they weren't even halfway through season 1 when I was done. Like when I had the dream. Which, coincidentally, would be the first time a Paw Patrol would air in Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and even Australia, so. Next up. Yes, I do kind of act like a scaredy cat sometimes in these dreams because of these villains. But yeah, with that curse, you can kind of tell what the problem is. And Allison, if you're confused about what I mean by the curse, I'm waiting until I scroll down enough for you to find out on your own. Of course, Kate is like, what do you think you're doing here? Yeah. Yeah, Pablo is still a little too confused. Wanna bet? Yeah, don't ask. Anyway. Yeah, this is how far the dream gets. This is why I said it could be a PG deal. This part, I ain't here trying to act like some Looney Tunes. I'm trying not to cuss here because cussing didn't start happening in these weird dreams until episode 3, which will take place in 2023. So if Liam is looking to add any cuss words, I'm completely chill with it because those ones I think would take place in 2025. And keep in mind, any of these dreams, unless I get permission from my friends that are featured in each of the dreams, I'm only going to have those dreams that only have cartoons. This one being a prime example of it, and I consider it to be my favorite example of it for how many cartoons have been featured without needing my friends involved at all. Coincidentally, this dream, one of the shows featured, like two of the shows featured, it wouldn't be until, ironically, both in the same month, but of different years, where I would get them. Where I get plushes from those shows. Anyway, and you'll see which two shows I'm talking about later on. Which I will say, one of them being a default show. Out of the 6 default shows that you're going to expect in every episode, the only 3 I actually have legitimate plushes of right now are Paw Patrol, Phineas and Ferb, and Mother Goose Club. I will say that. As to why I don't have any of Dora the Explorer, or even Dora and Friends by extension, or as to why I wouldn't have any of Bubble Guppies or Kukurajuku. Kukurajuku, there's none that have ever been made for the show. And I'm actually not totally sure as to why I don't have any of Bubble Guppies or Dora the Explorer. But here we are. Yeah, Pablo confused as to how Braden would even get something like that. And yes, even more crying out of me in this weird situation. Swiper, yes, swiping. Swipe that kid. You wanna bet? Now shoot him! Oh, here's the first time a villain is mocking things. Making fun of some songs from Dora the Explorer and Paw Patrol. And even Dora and Friends. Oops. Oh, oops. I did it. And yes, he's making fun of the We Did It song from the original Dora the Explorer series. All for one and one for all, as in one brother. Ha! Yeah, he's making fun of if you're confused, the song, which I think is called To the Lookout, from Paw Patrol Live, is getting made fun of here. And then All for One from Dora and Friends getting made fun of. Also, before you guys ask where the Dora reboot or Go Diego Go could be, those don't get involved at, like, the Dora reboot hasn't gone involved at all somehow, still to this day, even though the other 3 versions of the show have been involved with the 2 spin-offs, and in the original series that those 2 spin-offs came from. Anyway, yeah. Oh, look, I dropped a piece of nothing. Yep. Yeah, a lot more mocking from the villains here, and you'll never bring that crybaby back to life now. And since he says that at the same time as Swiper, I might as well say in the voice of Swiper too. You'll never bring that crybaby back to life now. Yeah, that's literally what he says. Hey, before you question me, you probably should be questioning specifically whatever part of my brain makes those dreams. That's the part of me that you should be questioning, not my personality. Because let's be honest, would it be more normal for me to have cartoons or horror Like, let's be honest, if Evan's watching this, would it be more normal for me to have cartoons in my dreams or horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's? Let's be honest. And also, if Jemiah is watching this, yes, the literal voice actor for Matt and Cat Char and Messy Moose, like Matt Mutt, along with Cat, Char Shark, and Messy Moose from Yuki and Friends. Yeah, the literal voice actor for those four having these types of dreams. So, yeah, here I am. Just by my normal voice, doing the voice of Matt Mutt while explaining these dreams is wild. Anyway. Yeah, another case of the hugging situation. Of course. Pablo being even more confused. Okay, I sadly won't be able to do the voice right here, right now, since this voice, based on the oldest Random Music episodes where I've been able to do this voice, this is the first time another show gets involved that isn't Dora and Friends, by the way, with Bubble Guppies, where, Molly being involved. Keep in mind, Liam, it isn't until around the time when Team Izumi comes in when we actually see our first male Guppy getting his first line. And considering my which character is your birth month thing post I did, the one that is for November, you should already tell which Guppy is going to be the first male. And yes, Molly is the one. And we're followed right up by Paw Patrol, which I will be able to do here, but you just, if you need to pause, do pause to read what Molly along with Kate say in this case. Anyway, yeah, Marshall being like, I better do a medical check to see where he got hurt. Yeah. Marshall in his paramedic uniform, not his firefighter uniform in this case. Kind of like how the SCU would do later on, with Phineas getting targeted by those villains in the FCU in 2021 and 2022. I think it's around that time. Wait. No, hold up. It was around 2023 until I got introduced in, I think it was November of 2023. Wait, no, December. It was in December of 2023 when I would get introduced, and that's when the villains would fully switch their targeting to me. For the idea of me having too much knowledge about them, so that their info won't get leaked across the internet or whatever, before they realize the super fan effects that, of all people to decide to start this, Pibby decided to set that power upon me in the SU. Yeah. And all I gotta do to keep it safe is just exist. Shocker. Yeah, another case of awkwardness. Yeah, Pablo even more confused here. Well, we better, as I already know he's gonna be seen with Pablo a lot whenever you girls are with him. Yeah, what can I say? So, well, yeah, what can I say? It's kind of like a it's kind of like a high-pitched, low-pitched chase, in a way. Yeah, how I kind of do the voice of Marshall here. It's like if I tried to combine the voice of Chase from Paw Patrol with my normal voice and the voice of Isabella from Phineas and Ferb. That's how I do the voice of Marshall, if Liam's wondering. Kind of a long story indeed. Well, I will need to know so that I can notify Ryder. And Yes, if you're hearing my voice impression of Marshall and it sounds familiar, it's supposed. My voice impression doesn't really match with the modern version of the show, but rather season 1, of which, let's be honest, people are gonna like my voice impression even more when that happens because, well, it is the season that people consider the best in the series, which can be seen as a positive for leaving a good impression to keep people watching, but also a bad thing at the same time because it basically implies that the show just gets worse and worse as it keeps going. Almost like it should have only had that one season and not continued. And this is more in the idea of their viewership and what other people think of it. As personally, I feel like the show kept getting better. And when season 1 was already good as is, and it kept getting better, that's when you know I'm obsessed with the show. Or at least when I think it's too good for me to stop watching. Yeah, it's a weird thing to explain. Also, Marshall, before you get confused, it's a sibling type of relationship, kind of like us. If you're confused, it's a reference to season 1 with how Sky and Marshall kind of have a sibling type relationship, not like how Chase is around Sky. I guess I'll take to the sky with that one. Yeah, they wish. And keep in mind, the reason why I'm not saying these Marshall lines is because it was the AI that came up with this, and somehow it was correct. We're still trying to figure that out ourselves. Kate, could you explain? Can you please explain it? As even us boys that met him the same day are confused. Now, seriously, Rebel looks super dizzy just thinking about it. Hey, I don't think Liam would be surprised one bit about how my friendship would end up being in this universe acting kind of like a little brother to these girls. I don't think he would be surprised one bit. We will need these answers in case a judge asks about it in court. And as a police dog, I should know. So, can you explain further? And also, if Zuma fans watching, yes, I'm actually brave enough to be showing this on YouTube. As long as I don't get demonetized when I do get monetized. If you understand what I mean by that. As technically I'm not able to get demonetized yet because I'm not monetized yet. For not having enough subscribers to be monetized. As I need 1,000, I'm currently at 580, so I'm more than halfway, but yeah. Hopefully we can get to 600 before my birthday. If anyone wants to subscribe and help that happen. We do have 1 week left before that works. Well, technically 6 days left as of the day I'm recording. Now that I'm realizing, it would technically be 5 days left as of the day I'm recording this because before this, we're probably going to have 2 new random music episodes. One themed off of recycling for Earth Day, and then the other should be Teen Titans related, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, it's going to be 1 week left as of the... it's technically going to be 8 days left before my birthday as of the day I'm recording this. But as of the day I'm uploading this, it would be, 6... It would technically be 5 days left. And yes, I am uploading this on the anniversary of not only the finale of Team Umizoomi, but also the anniversary of the 7th ever episode of Rebel and Crew, and the Nickelodeon premiere of All Paws on Deck from Paw Patrol. So, here we are. Team Umizoomi, Paw Patrol, and Rublin Crew have random anniversaries I just know about. And keep in mind, I'm saying 7th episode as in both air date and production code. Take a while? Yes, it'll finally stop making me dizzy. Yeah, if you're wondering why it's Dora, Kate, and Katie, those are like the top 3 girls that came to my mind about with the canon of the dreams would actually have the closest connection. Yeah, the fact that it's more characters from Dora and Friends instead of Paw Patrol is wild, but hey, Paw Patrol clearly in season 1 did not have that many girls. Seriously, yeah, the main Paw Patrol itself, we got Sky, but then over with the citizens of Adventure Bay, the ones that come to my mind, Julius Julia, Julia, the niece of Mayor Goodway, and that technically not a citizen, but a mayor. So, there we are. And then the only other citizen to come to my mind, Katie. And as for any other animal characters that are confirmed to be girls, without... Oh, and also there's, of course, like those 3 being Bettina, which being a cow. Yeah, here we are with a bit of stuttering out of me. Kind of have a problem with that, but it's not that big of a deal. But then there's also Chickaletta, being Mayor Goodway's chicken. And then lastly, Callie, being Katie's cat. And then any other characters that I can remember being girls confirmed, Precious's owner, which Precious herself, yes, as a cat, another girl. And yeah, her owner being a girl. A little girl who, from my canon memories, like from what I'm remembering to be canon of Paw Patrol, really, like, seems to almost be best friends with Alex, of all people. So, yeah. Anyway, if you if you've already been able to read through all of that while I was explaining, anyway. Keep going, dude. This backstory is definitely way more interesting than Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Yeah. Zuma found this backstory more interesting than all the ones Dr. Doofenshmirtz has had combined. Also, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, I'm sorry to say, but yeah, it sounds like Zuma is more interested in my backstories than yours. Yeah, learning more about me and... Oh yes, I definitely am really, really special. Which, if anyone wants to get to know me, those that already do know me already know how special I am. Yeah, and I will be honest, how I am in real life, I've had actual situations of some of the girls I've met in real life actually wanting to protect me, even leading to the point of one of them wanting to kill anyone who even tries to say anything rude to me. That's the level of protection I got out here. 2 of them, in fact. Which is honestly the maximum level of protection that you could possibly get from someone, which the fact that it's 2 girls that I end up on that level is wild. Anyway, keep going, considering I need things fixed when I need things fixed, that's the one thing I need fixed over everything else right now. Basically, the confusion that he has about what they're talking about when... Wait! Bothered you? Lo siento, Dora, but I don't remember you telling me this when we met. keep in mind the canon of when I would meet Tracker would be around in April of 2018. Pablo being in December, like, of 2018. So, yeah, I've basically known Tracker for over a year, almost a year and a half in the canon of when this dream takes place. But but I haven't even known Pablo for a whole year by the time this happened. So that's why Pablo is confused, but Tracker isn't as confused as Pablo clearly has been shown to be.
Wait, a secret? What is it?
Yeah.
Please tell us.
Yeah, it clearly shows that the pups are ready for whatever secret Dora has in store. Now, keep in mind, technically would be a secret in the canon of the dreams. Too bad when I had this dream I didn't tell anyone about it. Basically acting like it was a secret in real life, too. Up until now. Oh, almost 5 years later. Here we are. Technically 4 years later as of now, but here we are. And
Looks like Chase, Rocky, Zuma, and I are ready, but Rebel looks way too confused, and Pablo and Tracker look like they need time before Asher can trust them, but go ahead.
yep. At this timing, Pablo and Tracker would technically be at that point in the friendship where they're going to need more time before. I could have sworn I just saw lightning outside in real life, by the way, not for the sake of this weird dream, but yeah, there's going to be some things that might interrupt what I think about the dream for the sake of the video. Truth is, yeah, this is. Oh, and we get our first character from Kukuarajuku into this. And yes, a fourth wall break when we first get Kukuarajuku added in, for if Allison wants to know when this comes in. Which, for how long this video is already taking, yeah, it's taken that long to get Kukuarajuku into this, based on my reaction timing. Which, yeah, over 40 minutes. Sorry about that, Allison. But yeah, this video, technically by this point, is gonna become the longest video ever on my YouTube channel. Just unless the other two Dream Team episodes end up becoming longer. Yeah, Love was already suspicious ever since the start.
Wait, there's more?
Yeah, G, she did not expect that, and Dora was like, huh? Wait a minute. Clearly, Dora and G are confused at what Love is talking about. And even Chase, too. Dora, G, and Chase being confused at what Love is talking about here. But hey, this is a cartoon after all. That's literally her response, which technically, yes, all the shows featured here are cartoons. Even though Mother Goose Club does have live action content, and there's live stage shows that basically act like live action content from Paw Patrol and Dora the Explorer within this timing, and even Phineas and Ferb and Team Umizoomi, Bubble Guppies. But anyway,
Yeah. Wait, there's more?
no. Dora doesn't think anyone's gonna believe her.
Yeah?
And keep in mind, all my voice impressions that I have from Paw Patrol, for the main 6 pups, they match their season 1 voices. They don't really match with the modern seasons. So, which, honestly, I will say this. By the time I had this dream, I should probably find a way to match season 6. Which means I'd be looking for Sky's current voice actor that I should be matching. Even though my voice impression of her matches the first ever voice actor of Sky. The one from seasons 1 through 5. Sadly, no McKenna Grace from the movies shown. But then again, the movies weren't around at this timing. And I'm talking about when I say the movies, I'm talking about, like, when I say the movies, it's more of the Mighty movie and the third movie that's coming up in 2026 on July 31st in theaters. Anyway. Yeah. Her straight up admitting that I'm a human. Marshall wondering if Katie knows about any of this.
Katie? Did you know any of this?
And it's canon that she did.
Yeah, the only ones who would even know any of this would be Dora, Kate, and Katie, basically, in the canon.
So try saying that 5 times fast. Kate, Katie, and the canon. Okay, I just heard thunder. So there is a storm going on as I'm recording this. Okay. But I'm not going to stop that. I'm not going to let that stop me from recording. Anyway.
Why didn't you tell us sooner?
Yeah, she thought it was wrong, but she didn't know how they would react.
Is there anything else? Ugh.
Clearly my voice impressions do not fit well at nighttime. Only really during the daytime. Trying to save the world with my voice impressions before bedtime, like some out here trying to copy the Powerpuff Girls. That's crazy. Oh, we get our first line from a Mother Goose Club character in this one, which, to the surprise of anyone, like, if Liam is surprised, yes, Jack is the first one to say anything. Not Mary, but Jack. To be the first one here. He knows he's nimble and quick, but they are quickly making him confused by the second. Yeah, I felt that line was way too fitting for me not to use. So if you're confused.
What is this room? I can't wait! More ready than I have ever been to sing with my friends and eat cheese.
Yeah, Eve's personality, since he's supposed to technically be a mouse, or you could say like a furry type, whatever the case is. Don't be surprised about the whole thing about him being ready to eat cheese. Trying to elaborate out here, trying to copy his style off of over on Super Kitties. Looking at you, Disney Jr. Anyway. Everyone steps inside. Yeah, what do you expect?
What is this? Oh my, that's a lot of Paw Patrol merch, but I don't see any of Phineas and Ferb, Bubble Guppies, Dora the Explorer, Kooky Harajuku, or Mother Goose Club. I thought you loved those shows.
Keep in mind, this is in the canon. Like, I have whatever merchandise I basically have in real life, which this would take place in 2019 because I was having these dreams in 2019. Which, out of the 5 shows mentioned, my first ever piece of merchandise I would get of Bubble Guppies I wouldn't get until April 25th of 2022. First ever piece of merchandise of Phineas and Ferb wouldn't be until January 9th of 2024. Same day as the first ever piece of Rubble and Crew and Mother Goose Club merch I'd get. As for Kuki Harajuku, I remember that being sometime in May of 2023. Like, wait, no, it was sometime in, I don't remember the day of when I would get that, but all I remember about the first ever piece of merchandise I'd get of Kuki Harajuku to be the official ring that would be included of Harajuku charms related to Angel. As to why I didn't get Baby, but I got Angel instead. Angel is just cheaper on Amazon, so yeah, sorry Angel, if you can't. If that's probably why you can't afford your fashion trends. It's because of how you're cheaper on Amazon than Baby is. Oops. The most expensive being G herself, the leader of the band, which I think is honestly a fair move. Oh, another screaming one, of course, with excitement. So I'm not going to be saying that line because of that, since I don't want to be too loud.
Well, I'm betting we will. Huh? I've never seen this before. See! I really want to see what I did there?
Yeah, a little joke about sight. See, I really want to see. You could see why I made that joke, and why that joke was said in the dream. Unless it's exact, I don't think we will.
Yeah, dude. What is that? Not just one, it's 5. One of each of us male pups that are here, except Rebel. Keep in mind, when he says one of each, he's saying he doesn't, like, he sees that there's 5 of them, but he only wants to acknowledge 4 out of the 5. As at the time, I did technically in the canon would not have a tracker one yet. Although I'd have 2 of Chase, and I still have 2 of Chase. The fact I still don't got one of Sky, Everest, or Liberty still confuses me. Like, I could have sworn by now I'd have had one of Sky or Everest. Like, Liberty, not as much of any confusion, but I still feel like I should have gone Sky or Everest by now. So if anyone's watching this video and is looking to get me a birthday gift, there you go, about what it could be. Oh. Jack wondering if Mary knew about this? Mary not knowing? I guess that's quite the contrary of what Jack would have thought it would, and that if she knew or not. See what I did there? Anyway. What I want to know is what else is in that box. Like inside that box. Trying to take it out of the box. And yes, that's a Playhouse Disney reference. Don't ask. Yeah, Little Bo Peep. Remembering it, but letting Dora explain, since she's the one who had brought it out. What is it, though? Whoa. What is that? I could have sworn I heard a screeching sound outside, which could imply a car crash. Ugh, probably the worst time for me recording this video because of the storm, but Anyway, not just one, it looks like he has 3. One of me, one of Rubble, and one of Sky. Wow. Technically in the canon by now, I should technically have 4. 2 of Marshall, one of them being his Air Pups uniform, and one of them being his normal uniform type.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Just gonna have to wait and see for yourself, huh? Oh, a code. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, it's a quiz code with a riddle deal. Like, nine chances. And yeah, if you're wondering why it's saying, hey, why Molly is seeing if the boys would know, it's because the thing says only boys can answer. That's supposed to be basically how the canon works, to see if the boys would know me well enough for that. Which gender first? Yeah, question 1 gets passed through by Rubble. Yeah, they already lose 2 chances. Process of elimination is being used by Jack there. Follow right up into this. Older questions for clues. And here we're trying to play a game of Blue's Clues. And yes, I'm making more references put into this video reacting to it. Anyway. Kind and caring. Makes sense. Someone he can look up to as a role model. Who would that be then? Ooh, that loses another chance. Yep. Magically opening up from answering it right. What is it inside? What is it? Oh, a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. They wonder who it's from, don't they? Yes. Blue's Clues reference again. Anyway. A letter? I wonder who it's from. See what I mean? Yes, there's a Blue's Clues. Are you telling shut up to the cat? Anyway. Yeah, a Blue's Clues reference within this dream. What do you expect? We should. What does it say? So, yep. And keep in mind, with me reading this letter, I'm just going to be reading in my normal voice. Dear Asher, I know that you've always wanted to have a sibling, and I've been thinking about it for a while. You see, I think you're ready to have one. I think it's time for you. Yeah. What do you expect? Anyway. Who else is betting that it could be related? It could relate to Rebel's guess. Keep reading. Huh. Okay, why did that sound like the Zuma voice used in the Genevieve's Playhouse YouTube videos? Specifically for the younger version of Zuma. Smart, kind, always be there for you. Already here. So, and with that technicality, and since the idea of it being a big sister, the only ones that should technically qualify in this case, Liam would already figure that Mary, Bo Peep, Katie, along with the Explorer Girls and HJ5 as members, would qualify, but considering they don't want too big of an age gap, I think that disqualifies HJ5s, since with them being adults, it would more make sense on the parent side of things instead. Just saying, with the age difference. Anyway. Wait, who's the big sister, though? And yes, if anyone's watching this, other than Allison, yes, I do think that my life would have definitely went better with a sister instead. Overall. Just saying. Here we are. About to find out? Yeah, based on the letter and test, they already have some people disqualify from, already eliminate from the idea. The only ones that aren't pups to be eliminated out of this idea, Jack and Eat from Mother Goose Club, and then Pablo from Dora and Friends. Who could it be? And in case you're wondering about that, that is supposed to be a Ryan Smith 3 Playdate reference, although I did not put that in. And yeah, it just happens to be there. Anyway. So yeah, references to shows that aren't there. Anyway. Part of the Paw Patrol. Dude, I think that I'm betting that she met Asher day one on our journey, implying that she would canonically have met me when Steven Universe came out. So November 4th of 2013, that was day one of the journey there, where the first OC villain came in, Stinger. Ugh. Before I can officially start using him to hopefully make thumbnails for title cards, I still need an official design designed by Liam there. OMG, that leaves us with one person. Please just say it. Please just say her name. I can't wait any longer. Huh? What is the bad news? Yeah, only Paw Patrol character here that would qualify, which, yeah, that's where the bad news happens, causing confusion. Another person In case you guys are confused, there will be a result of 3 people to qualify and all tie for this, I guess. Yeah. An official announcement. To everyone who has been following this journey, we have an important announcement to make. After much consideration, we have decided the perfect big sister for Asher is... And then here's Chase's response. If I didn't know better, we'd probably have to play a game of Blue's Clues to find out. Yeah. Here we go with another Blue's Clues reference. You could clearly... If you're wondering as to why there could be so many Blue's Clues references, happens to because of how this same year would be where I get my first voice impression, which happened to be Blue from Blue's Clues, on June 28th, the day after my brother's birthday. Yeah. Just 13 days before the incident happened. Ugh. Oh well, I guess. Since the beginning, someone... Yeah. Since the beginning, basically cuts it down to 3 people, which, yeah, Marshall confirming. Katie, Kate, and Dora. With this line. Well, since the beginning means that it's down to Katie, Kate, and you, Dora. So, here we are. Keep reading it. We want to find out. The letter saying, it is with great pride that we announce that the person who will be Asher's big sister is... And, see? A 3-way tie, by the way. And Liam already knows who the other 2 are that qualified here. So... Marshall already has someone who he wants to win. Well, based on their past experience, I think I know who I want to win. I'm hoping that that third person is Mary, but keep reading so we can figure it out. Of course, Marshall is excited about knowing it. Totally. Although, with you being chosen, I feel like it would have made just as much sense if Kate was. Of course, Jack out here knowing that they can't just have one when we compare how dangerous Brayden clearly is. All 3 is his idea, which I think everyone is true. None of you. Later, slow pokes. And you can see. Yes, this is where another conflict comes in to interrupt it. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that since I will be honest. Some voice impressions of mine I cannot yell in without hurting it. They have to feel more natural for me to do that. Something like Phineas or Reggie. Otherwise it won't work. Never! Yo, what? Teach me how to say flower in Spanish? Pathetic. Yeah, clearly an attitude. Anyway. You'll never catch us. Finally. So. Never. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, this is where we see. Yeah, you know all those memes about Dora snapping out at people? This dream takes that meme to a whole new level. Just raging out at one of the villains. Which, let's be honest, based on how their schemes are working, can you really blame her in this case? No. Considering this is a little reference to South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, I might as well do in the voice of Eric Cartman because it was referencing the one song. Esther's the biggest bit. Just gets. Yeah, he doesn't even get to say the word. He gets shot before he could even do it in this weird dream. And here's a SpongeBob reference, which I cannot do because, well, the yelling thing. Oh yeah. Well, time for his road trip then. Looks like he's going on a trip in his favorite rocket ship of doom. Yeah, a literal reference to the Little Einstein's theme song to make fun of that from the villains. Yeah, you can know it's one of my weird dreams if someone like Braden would be making cartoon references like this in this case, trying to copy the FCU out here. And this should be where we end up. Here we are with the next show to get added. Yep, Shimmer and Shine, which you could kind of tell I wanted to get this stream done right now. With Shimmer and Shine in here, considering there's a special dance trend going on with the show. So you knew I gotta get in on the trends by acknowledging the show. So not only with those Phineas and Isabel reactions to those Princess Brooke videos, but then here we are with this dream acknowledging it. Yep. And the reason why I'm not saying any of the lines is because, well, doing the voices of Shimmer and Shine I already know are going to hurt my voice, so I ain't trying to do that. So, see? Classic Shimmer and Shine line. But, of course, in a way to match the dream. Yeah. He's so cute when he's scared. Now hand him over or else. Yeah, you could tell that the villain thing is still in there. Wanna bet? I'm just gonna stop with just start reacting here. Hopefully, unless it's someone, let him go. Yeah, you could already tell that my voice is giving out. That's how long I've been talking on for. Going on for over an hour.
longer than my longest video about the VFCU network schedule updates. What do you expect? Ugh. I'm not giving up. Yeah, they would need to get me out of there in this case. Yeah, a fishing rod to be used.
I will unlatch it if you hand him over.
Yeah.
Come on, come to us. Oh, man.
Yeah, and the canon of how this stream works, you could kind of see some implications of where this curse is taking, and which you'll see a bit later on. Oh yes, this is where the villains are trying to convince them without, well, also lying about it. And this is supposed to be also a little reference, which I think was meant to be a future prediction about how many voice impressions I'd get. But if he's around, then we can't save you from the bigger threat coming in the future. Yeah. Saying I'd steal every job in voice acting if they don't stop me.
What about the voice impression of Blue? Explain that.
You need to stop me now before it happens. Yeah. Again, I don't know why this was involved in my dream, but here we are. Yeah, Dora already being like that. Thinking that Brayden would have that type of job, which would be understandable for the concern, but here we are. As to why my dreams keep randomly predicting the future, I don't know. I will be honest. Although I do feel like the whole more girls than boys being in most of the dreams did predict how my 8th grade friend group would be in my PE class. Out here taking until March in order for me not to be the only boy anymore. Out here with 12 girls, like literally 11 girls and 1 boy other than me. Explain that for a moment. Just saying. And again, that boy wouldn't be added into the friend group until March, with another girl added on top. So, yeah, out here trying to have some sort of loud house situation with 1 extra girl added on top of that. Other than me, that's honestly crazy. Anyway. I'm confused. Yeah. I don't know why I mistyped there. This is one of those times where I'm having a typo out here looking like Jay with his typos. Yes, I'm roasting you, Jay, so deal with it. A game or party should work.
Yep, first time we get in line from someone that you normally wouldn't expect within Mother Goose Club. The reason why Mary, Eep, Jack, and Bo Peep, why those four have been getting so many lines, yet Baba and Teddy haven't been seen getting any. I will confirm this, and they are the two least used out of the entire group, and also the least popular. Out here being so unpopular that literally, with Baba specifically, I can tell that she's the least popular of them all as a whole. Even less than Teddy, because literally all the other members are warning. Literally, when you go onto Amazon and try to get a plush of them, it'll warn you that there's only a certain amount left. But Baba, on the other hand, it'll say that the plush of her is in stock. So that should probably tell you how unpopular she is within the series. Yeah, Jack is out here feeling a little weird about this. So, Jack and Ape, even though technically in the canon of these dreams, they would have already known me for like, I think about 4 years by now. They'd still be pretty confused. Like, just as much as Pablo is. If only we had a connection with him that they had. This is worse than a cheese shortage from a cow strike. Yeah, if you're gonna this is kind of be like trying to put a cheesy twist to those Texas lines that you'd expect from Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. So, here we are. First line from music. Yeah. Allison and Liam will know what personality music has, and the fact that she's worried based on her personality should tell you how bad the situation is in the canon of these dreams. Just saying. So, yeah. What? Wait a minute. Why is it that I'm doing the voice of Jeffy? Okay, that was weird. Anyway. Yeah. Talk to him. Yeah, that's the idea that they're going on. A few hours later. If you're confused about this is a little reference to, yeah. Let's just say 4 days. This dream went on for a whole month, and I decided to fit in the whole month for an entire episode to be like a special premiere. And let's just say 4 days straight of this. Like 4 days in real life, but 8 hours within the dream. And if you want any reference as to why she doesn't feel any sign of me being alive within the canon of this stream, there's a Daniel Cal Drawings video about it that you should expect. So, like, that already is out that you should go watch in order to get an explanation about that. Or Zach D Films, so. What happened? You don't mean it, do you? Sorry to say, but no pulse means he is. Oh, yeah. Jack finding 2 separate letters, one of them most likely being a good thing and one of them being a bad thing. He doesn't even want to say anything about what Brayden's letter is, apparently. Yeah, they have to do something. So, sacrifice something. And they end up choosing to sacrifice someone. One of the villains. Yeah, Brayden's letter, on the other hand. Yeah, Leon, you could already see an implication of some FCU vibes going into this. Oh yeah, Molly making fun of him. What time does he think this is? The 1800s? The fact that that's her line. Clearly you could tell he's indicating in these dreams that Brayden would be a bad person when even Molly from Bubble Guppies is roasting him. Ugh, trying to end up sacrifice something that we care about the most. What? I'm sorry if my voice impressions aren't doing as well. I'm just saying. I have to stay hydrated in order for me to be, or at least have something available to drink around in order to be able to keep these voice impressions up, or at least the females. Someone like Phineas I can kind of do no matter what, but... Or even Mickey Mouse, but... Someone like Isabella, on the other hand, I think like Isabella's the only one I can really do without needing the need of any water when it comes to the females. Sacrificing one of their friends. And the conclusion that they come up with... Yeah, who would... I will be honest, I don't know what those middle schoolers were thinking to hate me. As, let's be honest, do I really seem like a bad kid overall? Just wondering. Yeah, Swiper. If you're confused, it is canon that even though technically Swiper is supposed to be implied as a villain, he's still somehow friends with Dora and Boots within Dora the Explorer. So... yeah. Pablo's still being confused. Yeah. Swiper waking up to see me. You finally want to get rid of him. Yeah, this is supposed to imply that Swiper's supposed to die here. So. Yeah, the fact that this dream that I'm trying to show you guys is taking this long to explain is wild. And we're not even halfway. So you know this is going to be a long video. Most likely going to end up being a two-parter. A playlist of songs there, huh? Yeah. Clearly Pablo is wondering if this is normal. And Love already figuring it out because, well, she is supposed to be the genius of HJ5. The reason why I'm recording it like this is because, well, alright. I have no way of if you're confused, yeah. The rest of the dream is just them trying to... I'm just gonna have to scroll through and just let you guys read it on your own. But yeah, other shows featured you'll see later on. Yeah. Still out there searching. Any idea? Nope. Apparently not. I don't think anyone should be surprised about Mary not minding because, hey, a series of nursery rhymes, what do you expect? So... a lot? Yeah. Yeah, Allison, you two already know music would not be able to handle this, let's be honest. Here's baby being baby, you know? Not kawaii. Yeah. This one being the thing to go on pretty much for the rest of my life. Ever since, I think, the age of 5, I've been able to stay cheered up with cartoons. Earliest moment of me remembering it being with Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. July 31st of 2015. One of the few days where I actually would have a surgery. Ugh. One of the more important ones that I swear, if I didn't have that, then I probably wouldn't be here right now. And I was way too close to that happening. Ugh. The show that was chosen, of course, everyone already knows it's going to be Paw Patrol. Yeah, in case of something like that. Keep in mind, but in order for this episode to officially be over, you have to wait until Rainbow Rangers comes in and see me being calmed down when that happens. That's when you know it ends, because, well, it's supposed to end happily. This is one key line that you're going to have to understand from Mary. You'll have to remember that for any future episodes. So this is the one that I probably would focus on the best, in case there's any scenes like that ever again. Music making a little Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood roast. Yeah, not enough Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, apparently. Yeah, from G, along with the Explorer Girls.
giving her that look like you really shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I will be honest myself. Based on the personality we see with Endor and friends, Pablo ain't equipped for this type of stuff. Let's be honest here. Yeah. Yeah, this is like the year when that's the switch of this. So, yep, love out here blaming, but just blaming Brayden here. So, now before Liam gets worried about the word trauma being said here, this was before that fear ray from 2024 within the Try and Trust saga of the FCU. The fact that I came up with that name for this saga, normally I just come up with the plot. I don't usually come up with the name. But that was the one saga that I came up with the name Try and Trust. When he got introduced, anyway. Yeah, even Shimmer and Shine don't like it. There's another conflict. Yep. Gonna take a lot of conflicts to get through this episode. Yeah, clearly in the canon of that dream just results in that. Music out here making fun of Brayden in the dream. Oh geez, Braydoof. Perry the Catapus. You can't lie, that line that happened in the dream is funny as that. I'm just saying. Yep. There's the savior. Pretty intense indeed. So. Eep being the first boy to try. Oreo being greedy again? Anyway. Yeah. All of this going on in the background too at the same time. So you could tell I'm trying to be calm and collective about this. Considering at the time I had the dream, there were clearly mental problems going on. Ugh. Anyway. Oh yeah. Marshall being worried about his clumsiness interfering with whatever is needed to be done. Kind of like how he got worried about, kind of like the episode Pup Save a Friend. and the special Ready Race Rescue, which the fact that that premiered alongside Blue's Clues and You, how I got to see the premiere of Blue's Clues and You and Xavier Riddle in the Secret Museum the same day that came out, yet I couldn't see Ready Race Rescue. It's still confusing to this day. Anyway, Marshall, yeah, it should be okay at least, right? Unless you're talking about the abridged universe. That universe, on the other hand, oh boy, being clumsy is not allowed apparently in that alternate universe. The Forbidden Universe is what I wouldn't be surprised if we called it. And keep in mind, what these two are referring to, what Baby and Mary are referring to, I will be honest, that would be the case in real life. I don't know why. Especially around this point in time. But then again, this was the past, so what do you expect? Although there's a little effect to it, it only works with girls. There's a clear... And you could already, just by how these dreams are turning out, you could already tell who to blame as to why it wouldn't work for boys. Anyway. Yeah, they probably shouldn't try to force them. And I think love has the right to have that type of feeling. Until they're ready, at least. Yeah, clearly they're not worried anymore. Like, Dora's no longer worried like she was I think about half an hour ago as of the time, based on how long it's taking me to record this. But about, I would say, within the canon of how the dream would work if it was a half-hour episode, like it's supposed to, you could say about 5 minutes ago in timing. That's how long this video is taking, so yeah, what now, basically, is what music's like. Yeah, clearly Pablo's wanted some time without needing to worry about me. Which, I will be honest, if it would be fair to, if anyone would have wanted that, but somehow it makes the most sense for Pablo to be the one. Oh, yep. And in case you're confused, yes, it's canon. I end up having dreams inside of dreams in this case. Don't overthink it. If you do start thinking about it, just don't. Since you're gonna overthink it and start getting even more confused. Oh yeah, this is the first time they go in through a portal. I remember. Yes. It ended up working out, so.
Yeah, this is where you can tell my trust with girls over boys is way too high on the girls' side of this, which is just to a questionable level of high compared to boys. But then again, like I said before in this video, Liam and Allison already know who to blame on that one. And yes, Allison, if you are watching this, I am mentioning you. Although, and yes, if you are wondering, anyone who I mentioned in this video, shout out to all of them. Stetson, Jay, Liam, Allison, shout out to those four. Yeah, I'm already reaching that point where I'm giving shout outs. And I figured 500 subscribers is about the amount that shout outs are necessary. No limits. Oh, this is where the mention of the curse. Pablo is confused. Yeah. Too many boys causing a panic attack, yet also at the same time turning into a baby when I'm around more girls than boys. Yeah, that's the curse that I've been implying throughout this entire video. And applying to the plot. As to why that exists in these dreams, I don't know why, or why it's been going on for 11 years by now, but 6 years by the time that this dream that I was able to recreate happened. And I think out of everyone in my life that knows about these dreams, Liana, shout out to her by the way, she's the one that was questioning it the most as to how it could end up being this long. In fact, the only year I remember not having any of these types of dreams, but still somehow having cartoons connected to my dreams, would be 2018, which, I will be honest, the only two shows that I was having, like the only 3 shows I was having any dreams involved with at the time would be Paw Patrol, Team Umizoomi, and Bubble Guppies, which, yeah, you could kind of see why it would be more boys than girls in that case. Which, luckily, the half about the trust issues with boys being part of the curse, that half didn't come until 2019. So, meanwhile, the other half of the curse happens to, yeah, 2013 was when that other half came in. Very strange and confusing situation. The more girls, the younger. Ugh. Yep, here's the setting. A dark, creepy forest. Yep. And when I say dark and creepy forest, I'm implying like a dark and creepy forest that FCU canonically had an abandoned daycare in. Yeah. And no, Liam, before you ask, no Lexinite cage at all. No sign of any word girl-based weaknesses going on there. Considering this was at a time when the only voice impression I had was Blue from Blue's Clues. Yeah, I don't think music would be scared one bit. Let's be honest about this. She'd be too brave for that one. To a point where it's not even her being brave because she's not even scared. Although Baby, on the other hand, you can tell why she would be scared. She's more into the kawaii stuff, not the horror theme stuff. I mean, to the point where literally in the SCU canon for Halloween, she literally got scared of her own friends just for them wanting to dress up as Chucky and Pennywise for Halloween.
specifically getting scared of music in G. Yeah, I'm still questioning as to why they wanted to dress as, like, honestly, music dressed as Chucky, I'm not surprised, but G choosing to dress as Pennywise, I'm still confused about. They have to be brave. Oh yeah, that's part of the dream too, but ends up... Yeah, Brayden being the usual villain he is. Yeah. Here we go with... So that we can continue it. Of course, Leah being the one to wish this up, considering she is the one with the genes. So, Shimmer and Shine out here being involved. There's... So, yeah. Molly wondering how they stop Brayden. Oh yeah, being jammed.
What you doing being an idiot?
Yeah, that's the first line from any Phineas and Ferb character, was being from Isabella.
What you doing being an idiot?
Her classic "what you doing" catchphrase taken into a rude tone.
Okay, Fireside Girls, you know what to do.
Oh yeah, the groundbreaking. And I'm saying this is on a wish. This is kind of on a. Let's just say on a fairly odd level. And here we're trying to copy season 5 of the Fairly Odd Parents. Huh. Oh yeah, squishing him. Probably should have said squashing him, but anyway. Oh yeah, this is the first time where the AI thought of something for me to say. And somehow they end up being accurate. Here we are. Yeah, this is where the AI's out here trying to copy Liam's vibes. Seriously. Yo, Liam, when did Talkie find out about you, bro? Like, when did Talkie start copying you? Let's be honest. Oh yeah, I tried doing that too, but it doesn't really work. As soon as they escape, yep. Oh yep, we got 2 more shows added to the mix. Here's where Butterbean's Cafe and Sunny Day are added into the mix. So, yeah. See? Pablo's even more confused. Yeah, the more shows added, the more confused Pablo gets. That's a common theme.
a very strange curse, but then again, here we are. Yeah, this is kind of on a ridiculous level here. And you could kind of tell why the half about the Fiora boys didn't really imply outside of the SCU. That's how ridiculous it could be seen. Yeah. Okay, the way I said yeah, why did that sound like the Nickelodeon jingle? I don't even know, from that one 90s Nickelodeon commercial. But yeah, very strange indeed. A few hours? Jeez. For yeah, it would be a good idea with those villains around. Yeah, with me having this weird dream, around the time it started getting a little too cold to the point where I was starting to need coats. Kind of implied in this dream. Hey, what do you guys expect? Yeah, more than one would be needed in this situation. So yeah, basically a total of 7 or 8. Yeah, I'll be honest. Can anyone really be surprised that I would need that in the canon of how this dream is working out? Of course it would be a good idea. I mean, it would be a bad idea if they didn't. So, Pablo is already knowing that. Yeah, music out here all like, screw what Pablo said. With her being ready. Yeah, they don't want to wake me up in this. And here we are with our first line from a Timu Mizumi character. Millie being the one to say it. Her noticing a pattern. You could see why it would be her that would be the one to notice. She's all about the patterns, you know? So. Oh yeah. If anyone wants to go under a different name for this era, where I'm actually placing the series, I guess you could say Brayden versus Asher era. So. Oh yeah. Dima mocking the villains. Oh boy. And when she says that line, it's kind of supposed to be in the dramatic way. of her acting like it's just too dramatic from the episode the Swimtastic Checkup. Which, yeah, from Heather's favorite episode of Bubble Guppies, that's kind of supposed to be the reference that is put in there. The Umi alarm. Oh boy. Yep, there goes another villain plan. Oh, and there's Mayor Humdinger too. But yeah, I forgot to put the little thing, but it still. The AI understood enough. Oh yeah. Oh. And also, Liam, if you ever need an explanation of what a shunt is, here it is. Which, yes, in the SCU too, it's going to be canon that Love will understand what it is. Just in case of anyone else wondering why, what I would be referencing about, like what I would be going on about whenever I say that I'd be too vulnerable with my head, more than a normal person. Just in case of any of my friends that are looking at it. And as to why I'd say it would cause legal issues. Just let those boys know that they should not mess with me. As to why they legally shouldn't. Yeah. Gross, yes, but it is science. I think that little extra part kind of makes it a little funnier, too. Oh, yes. And also, Liam, if you want to see the effects of, like, if a malfunction of my shunt happens or if I lose it, this is what the effects are if that happens. Yeah. Pain level of 9 out of 10. Oh yeah, and this is where the villains start targeting not only me, but also other people. Starting with Geo from Team Umizoomi. Yeah, here we are with that, at that point in the dream. Yep, he would never be able to make shapes ever again. Oh boy, another mock shape band dome. Nah, we ain't got the shape band, we got the shape band dome. That was intentional. Oh, and Allison, about you being shocked about the list of shows as to why no, the Princess Knight would be involved, here we are at that point. Yep, this being the first line. With her all knights have awesome shields, being the quote that I feel like anyone could use to their advantage for whatever reason.
The reason why we didn't get Steven Universe involved is because, Liam, if you're watching this, my first ever dream that did have Steven Universe, that would be canon to the Dream Team universe, I did not have that dream until around, I think it was around July of 2020, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, so. It's happening again. Yeah. Here we are with another case of it. See? Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the girls would have had that idea when it comes to this. Not just Millie.
Oh, here's our next line from someone that I will be doing the voice of.
Yep, he's... Yeah, they in the canon of the dreams in the first episode, yes, Phineas and Ferb did invent a machine to send them to Pluto. Like, to send the villains to Pluto out here.
Hey Ferb, how's our Pluto teleportation ray? As we need to help Asher as best as we can.
And yes, in the canon, how these dreams work, yes, Ferb is actually out here getting lines.
I really need this comforting baby's patch, and Miss Firesign said I would still get it by comforting Asher because of his curse. Yet, those villains are making all my attempts fail miserably. What are we gonna do?
Yes, that's an actual thing going on in this strange universe that it was made up in my head. Still gotta question that one. Anyway. Causing trouble. Yes, they are. Oh yeah, up until this point, every single show, except for Kuke would be targeted towards preschoolers, yet meanwhile Kuke would already be targeted towards girls, with every single show except for Paw Patrol up until this point being targeted towards girls. Crazy to think how Phineas and Ferb is the only one that wasn't like that. Oh, here's the line from Gil that comes in. So ready to slap those villains in the face with my dick. Yeah, Gil was so ready to destroy those villains. Oh yeah, and Gobi, so yeah, he's ready too. If you're wondering where Nani is, he sadly doesn't get any lines in this, although I do remember Zuli getting some. As, let's be honest, in the canon of how these dreams work, I'd be more opening up towards love over Nani. Like, with them both being geniuses, and with the comparison of how this trusting thing would work. We got our first add-on of the Powerpuff Girls, with Bubbles being here.
Now to keep this cutie safe. And yes, doing the voice of the prettiest girl at the party.
Yes, I'm doing the voice of Bubbles out here. Like, I decided just to say it like that. Crazy. Oh yeah,
Buttercup, of course, canonically wanting to kill the villains. Oh yeah, this is where a little bit of mocking about the heroes towards other heroes. Force you to be a Nick Jr. girl. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, Buttercup would not really understand what their actual age rating would be, but more of just thinking that would be the case. Another fourth wall break, technically. So the fact that these heroes are seen as weak and helpless, according to the villains, is wild. Yes, the Powerpuff Girls, Cartoon Network. So. Using them for their own entertainment, though, is a wild statement, I will be honest. But yeah, the personalities of the characters, of course, Music and Buttercup would be the two to avoid this. A total of 13 shows to be used, of which, Liam, if you are watching this, there will be a total of 12 of them that will be used in my 2025 12 Days of Christmas video, which will be focused on the Dream Team universe. I would also end up doing an Abridged Universe edition, but yeah, considering what the Abridged Universe has done, it probably would fit a lot better if Jay did it instead, let's be honest. Like, they don't have the skills to be Nick Jr. friendly enough. The fact I said that is wild. Not making any promises, though, is wild. Gonna be hard for Music, though. Also, there is a bit of a case of needing some editing going on there. Luckily, not enough editing to end up needing a premium account for a website like this. Oh yes. Oh, Jojo. I see. I'll destroy anyone if it means at the end of the Powerpuff Girls. Right, Brayden?
Yeah, that's literally the first line from Mojo Jojo. He just hit. That being the case, anyway. Accusing the heroes of causing trouble is wild.
Oh, yeah. They can't let their emotions get the best of them. Oh, look at that. It's no longer Dora the Explorer. It's Dora the Therapist.
Yeah, the fact that Mojo Jojo said that in the dream. The fact that I find this funny. I don't know why. Oh. Oh. Yeah, this is probably the one roast that would probably make Dora want to go on a rampage against the villains. I'm surprised that she did it in the dream, I'll be honest. But here we go with Mojo Jojo saying this. Oh, come on, Oh, come on, Doofa, the ex-girlfriend. You know, Asher. Yeah. He's still making fun of Dora, but of course, he's gonna be out here with some false information. And here's where the show Sunny Day is added into the, brought back. Oh, yeah. This gets Dora back on track in this case. Oh, yeah. I'd rather not explain what he would be talking about in the canon of these dreams. It's best not to explain. Yep. Out here with Brayden causing another scheme. Of course, Brayden would be the one excited about something like this in this canon. Ugh. Oh, geez, this is where I feel like the dream's kind of with this one line from Dora towards Pablo. Why do I feel like this predicted the future involving my friendship with Stetson? Even though I wasn't even friends with her at the time, since we didn't even know each other? Oh, jeez. Why does... what's there to be confused about? That's one question that I get from Stetson enough times that I straight up feel like that this dream might have predicted the future. Again. I have way too many dreams that predict the future, whether it be about my own life or about cartoons. I'm here predicting the future of Paw Patrol, Hamster and Gretel, and Rumbling Crew. And I won't be surprised if they predict how some of the episodes of The Amazing World of Gumball and Phineas and Ferb turn out during their revivals.
Yep, there's another line for me that the AI comes up with. Just me being like, what happened? That was weird. Anyway. Yeah, of course the villains would be outraged. Yep, another screaming one. Another... Yep. Oh, come on. I get... Oh, yeah. Brayden out here mocking Bubbles. Oh, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna make me the prettiest girl at the party? Yeah. If you guys are confused, it's a reference to the one meme that was trending where Bubbles was getting mocked by Bubbles. Like, just Bubbles getting mocked by Buttercup without realizing. She's probably going to here so she can be the prettiest girl at the party. I'm gonna be the prettiest girl at the party. Yeah. The fact that I almost got the voice of Buttercup perfectly to do that. Damn. That's wild. Yeah, mocking Bubbles is wild, though. Yeah. Music and Buttercup are outraged enough to want to kill any villains that are involved in this. Yeah. What? Should we be surprised about how outraged that Music and Buttercup could possibly be? Oh, this is where Rainbow Rangers gets involved. So yeah, this implies that we're almost at the end of the video, dude. But yeah, now the longest normal running video officially coined here. What do you expect, though? Oh yeah, and when I say Bonnie, I ain't talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm supposed to reference. It's supposed to be for Bonnie Blueberry, the blue member, like the member that is associated with the color blue. When it comes to, like, when we were talking about Rainbow Rangers. Yeah, and in case you're confused, Rosie Red, I'll be honest, she kind of acts in the same personality traits as both Music and Buttercup, so the whole don't get too excited. You know what? I'll be honest, I think we can officially consider this year's HJ5 costumes, like who the members of HJ5 are going to want to dress up as for Halloween this year, Liam. For Fright Night, like for this year's Fright Fest of 2025. Baby probably wanting to dress up as Anna Banana, I'll be honest. Although she might go for Mandarin Orange instead. And then, of course, music dressing up as Rosie Red. Wait, Mandarin Orange, yeah, like Mandarin Orange, I'll be honest, Baby's gonna dress up as her anyway. Music definitely dressing up as Rosie Red. Indigo, like Bonnie Blueberry, I feel like, nah, if I'm gonna be honest, Love would probably want to go ahead and dress up as Indigo Allfruit. So, there we go with who they would dress up as. G probably would go as Anna Banana there, since same hair color. Both being blondies, I guess. So we got a decision on who, all of them except for Angel, which with that Indigo Allfruit is who Angel's left with. That would actually work for her design to actually be able to translate well into a Rainbow Rangers character. Yep. Bringing me to their home to keep me safe from those villains. That was the plan. So if Jason's watching this is kind of what the case was before he came in. Like, if you want a reference as to what was going on with my brain in elementary school. Which, yeah, before I met him officially. Yeah, this is where, yeah, kind of hard to explain, but this is where the dream starts to show the part of why I already know when I have a dream that implies something horrible is going, like something bad enough that I know I would have to stay home to keep myself from getting overwhelmed. This is where we're reaching that point in the dream. I still remember that. Still making me wonder why I didn't just want to skip 4th grade entirely. Ugh. Good thing that year got cut by the... I'm not even going to mention what it got cut off by, because I'm going to get myself... I'm gonna get myself banned off of YouTube if I mention it. I'm not even gonna mention it because of it. Anyway. Yep, here's the Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood vibes that I'm getting from this dream. From my favorite character from Rainbow Rangers, which I will be honest, if anyone's gonna have the skills to be able to do this type of comforting, just based on their personality, let's be honest, she would end up being the one to have those type of skills. Ironically, her last name being my favorite fruit at the same time. Oh well. Here's music starting to feel a little annoyed. Needing to act like that they're in an episode of Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood and Sesame Street. Oh yeah, this is where it gets a bit confusing for for them. See? 6 years as of the timing when I had this dream. No idea how it happened, but here we are. Still confused as to what this is. Yeah. That's how sick of this situation is going. Yeah. The reason why I'm not saying anything is just because these are some action stuff that are going on. Yep. Angel in this alternate universe is the one who determines what trends go on. Yep. If you thought the panic attacks that Stetson's had from, Hey Dougie of all shows, I'm not gonna say what episode because, yeah, Liam and Heather will already know what episode that is. But if you thought those were insane, yeah, these ones that I've had when I was younger definitely feel a little too far. For a bit more obvious reasons that are also more reasonable at the same time. Oh yeah, the fact that I got the nickname Super Kawaii Kid from Baby out here. Oh, we finally get our first line from Rox. Oh. Yeah, new episode of Star Wars Force of Evil. The reason I decided to leave that in is because, well, this was in, like, this is where, yeah, it would be, like, new for the channel, not new for Disney as a whole. Yeah, Star vs. the Force of Evil. Yeah, I don't think we should be surprised about that getting involved. But I'm not totally sure. Here we are with, reference, like, in the dream itself, shows getting involved. I already, like, Paw Patrol, Phineas and Ferb, Bubble Guppies, Timu Mizumi, Dora and Friends, Rainbow Rangers, and a whole set of other shows that are a list too long to explain, but then when we add on top of all the references made here, that's a total of 19 shows getting involved in this dream, whether it be slight references, mentions, or just straight up characters being in it and involved in the plot. So, oh yeah, meanwhile, the villains. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I was any younger, that would probably be a way to calm me down back then. Too bad I wasn't. Oh yeah, a little. If you're wondering what I'm referencing about Baby falling asleep to it, to a lullaby, it's a reference to the Kuke Arjuku episode. Yeah, it's supposed to be a reference to one of the season 1 episodes. I forgot the name of it. I don't know why I forgot the name, but here we are. Anyway. Here we are. Yeah, by the end of the dream, not only am I the one that ends up falling asleep at the end, but you can tell that Baby's ready to go to sleep too in this. So, yes, we're almost at the end of the video, which results in this being the longest video on my channel. That's how long it's been taking. Hopefully the other Dream Team episodes don't take this long. Anyway, yeah. Finding a way to sing it, I guess. The members of HJ5, yep, Love, Angel Music, Baby, and G. Again, music being involved is a reference to the same episode. With her having a niece named Minnie, though, is wild. As I'm done scrolling, you're just gonna have to read it on your own and keep pausing the video whenever you're... Anyway, yeah.